Welcome to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And for whatever reason, once again, it's slow as it concerns rumors, news, and headlines. But that's to be expected because it's towards the end of the year, the holiday, we're all getting ready for the new year, 2015. And that's all good and well, but all well, I'm over here with nothing to talk about. Well, there is finally something to talk about. Because just yesterday, Stone Cold podcast with Wrestling Observer newsletter Dave Meltzer. Go subscribe to that newsletter right now. That is how I get my view and my opinion of everything that he finds out. I give my view of it under fair use. Now, Dave Meltzer and Stone Cold discussed some pretty interesting comments about John Cena, their feelings and their thoughts. About how you shouldn't be blaming John Cena for WWE not creating new stars. Don't blame John Cena for, John Cena has all this input on creative. And let's just get into the comments, the interesting comments from Austin and Meltzer. Now, Austin said the following: coming from a guy who has been on top in the business, what John Cena is doing is having a hellacious career. You've got the people who just hate him, but you've got to understand everybody is more than entitled to their opinions. But until you've at least been in some of those shoes, your opinion is what it is. Probably an unqualified opinion, but it's heartfelt, so it's your opinion. And yes, everyone's opinion is heartfelt. Just like I don't agree with a lot of people that come on my videos and talk about John Cena in a derogatory way, but that's your opinion, and I'm not going to censor you for it. I'm not going to slander you for it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. That's why this is called Sean's View Entertainment, because I want your view. But for me, Austin said, a guy who has been on top, to watch what John Cena's done, fans on both sides of the Cena debate, and if you believe the internet wrestling community to be one-minded of anything, bring the 15-time world champ up. The man can split a comment thread just as quickly as he can split an arena. Are always questioning what role backstage politicking has played to his staying at the top for a decade, or defending against such speculation. The WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't question that role at all, because he doesn't put any of the blame on John Cena. Reading between the lines a bit, though, it does seem that Stone Cold thinks that a lack of full-time rattlesnake to his Brahma Bull is a drag on Cena's legacy. Now, I'm a little dismayed that he hasn't had a serious threat to come out there and try to knock him off. But again, that's not on John Cena. That's on the fact that no one has come close to knocking Cena off his perch yet. It doesn't change his final opinion of the man, though, and coming from one of the only other people in the world who can relate to Cena's position, that means the most. But that guy shows up, he works his ass off, and he does the work. I've got a lot of respect for John Cena. This coming from WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin. Over the last several years, even up to now, even for TLC, Cena buried Rollins. Cena buried this guy. Cena buried that guy. John Cena is, sucking McMahon's you-know-what. John Cena is working on the creative team. He's got the creative team in his back pocket. John Cena controls the WWE. He controls his destiny. Don't you think there would be a lot more outrage? Don't you think there would be a lot more fights and madness backstage had John Cena went up to every superstar that he has faced and said, listen, I'm going to beat you tonight and there's nothing you can do about it. I am booking the show. When was WWE ever called John Cena Entertainment? When was it called JCE? Last time I checked, it was called World Wrestling Entertainment. John Cena is going out there. He's filling up the seats, merchandise sales, revenue, the WWE subscription rate. A lot of the machine is run around, yes, John Cena. But it is not John Cena that dictates who's going to win and who's going to lose and who's going to have the pressure on them. It isn't to John Cena about, we're going to go in the match and, let's go over this match here. John Cena might lay out a plan. He might say, maybe we can do this or maybe we should discuss that. But John Cena isn't going to go in and say, one day he woke up and said, I'm going to be a 15-time world champion, and WWE is going to make sure. Remember, not one superstar, not any one superstar, not even Stone Cold, not even Hulk Hogan is bigger than the WWE. You got to remember that. And for those of you who think that John Cena buries this guy and buries that guy, that's on the creative team. That's on the powers that be. That's on the Vince McMahon. That's on the higher-ups. John Cena goes to work. He shows up, okay? And whether he's sick or hurt, John Cena is only doing what is asked of him. There's a lot of people that think they know what John Cena is doing and that John Cena doesn't want to give anyone a position, that John Cena doesn't want to give anyone the spot. Because there is no one as passionate and determined and driven as John Cena. That's why no one has come close. Now, I don't know. I would beg to differ with Austin on one. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk did almost match what John Cena was bringing to the table. But once again, John Cena worked that much harder. John Cena had that much more significance behind him. And yes, we all know the WWE loves Cena. Vince McMahon's a big fan of Cena. That's why he keeps pushing him and pushing him. But John Cena isn't the one that can just put his foot down and say, well, I don't want this to happen. I don't want to win this match. Listen, John Cena realizes what we all realize. He ain't going to be in the business forever. You only got one shot in the WWE. Yeah, you can come back down the line for a return or a cameo appearance and this and that. But once John Cena's run ends, that's it. Yeah, it's been 10 years. 10 years of the same song and dance. But guess what? The people are still responding. You want to know the day that John Cena becomes a failure? The day that there are no one in the seats, when no one's giving him a response, and when there is just a mute over the crowd. But do you hear a mute? No, the fans are chanting, let's go Cena or Cena sucks. You can't see me. The fans are, John Cena, the response to John Cena now is probably more passionate than it's ever been. The bottom line is, no matter what you think of John Cena, everyone has an opinion of him. But what you need to stop thinking is that John Cena runs the WWE, or that John Cena is Vince McMahon or Triple H, or that John Cena is on the creative team and is paying off creative and saying, well, you better book me to win. I better be in this position. I better be in that position. And Cena, he probably thinks he's getting treated unfairly if he loses a match. And, well, look at the match. Look at the booking at TLC. Everyone's going to jump to the conclusion and say, oh, well, John Cena was all over the booking on that match to make Seth Rollins look like a complete chump. No. That's just John Cena being fed what to do and how to do it. That's no different than you going to your job, going to your work site, and being asked by your boss, you got to do this or you don't get paid. If you don't do what's asked of you, you're fired. What is John Cena going to do? What is he going to do? That's the thing about John Cena. The other night, he rumored to hold a meeting backstage at Raw and told superstars that, it's time to step up. A silent protest isn't going to get the job done around here. You have to start perking up. You have to start matching the momentum with the athleticism. You have to start, doing what it takes to get to that next step in your career. But once again, that's tough to do in the WWE if Vince McMahon isn't behind you. Look at Cesaro. Look what happened to him. You can't blame John Cena for who's been buried or who's lost or who's been jobbed out. You blame the ones that booked it. You blame the ones that are in charge. I understand you don't have to like the character John Cena, but you have to respect the man John Cena for all his accolades and all his accomplishments. He may not be the best wrestler of all time. He may not put out the greatest matches, but that man puts out performances. That was a botch. That man is going to be a future Hall of Famer. For fans that come on here and say 5 moves of doom, Cena sucks, doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, is completely ridiculous. To say that John Cena doesn't deserve or hasn't earned the right to be in the Hall of Fame is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and another thing. Oh, the WWE, they're just positioning John Cena to beat Ric Flair's record as world champion. Well, who else is bigger in the world of pro wrestling nowadays? Who else is bigger? Well, John Cena's bigger because he's had the responsibility and he's had that, he's been, carrying the WWE on his back, and he deserves this and all the accolades and all his accomplishments and always coming back sooner than anticipated. John Cena doesn't believe in a day off. He doesn't believe in sleep. John Cena is balls to the wall each and every week, each and every night. It doesn't matter if it's a live event, a Raw performing in front of a WrestleMania crowd or a live event crowd. John Cena will give you the very best he has. And, once again, he's watered down. John Cena isn't speaking from the heart. Oh, no, there's a lot of heart in John Cena. There's a lot of motivation. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Nobody brings to the table what John Cena does in terms of a variety of different things. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've given my view and my opinion on this. Stone Cold doesn't think Cena runs things. I don't think Cena runs things. Cena doesn't have creative in his back pocket. He ain't sucking Vince McMahon's you-know-what. None of that's happening. John Cena's going in there and doing a job. And although he hasn't done many jobs for superstars over the years, he's doing a job nonetheless. But once again, it doesn't fall on John Cena. It isn't John Cena's fault. John Cena's just doing what he's asked of. Sure, he may have some creative control, but we don't know that. We don't work with WWE. We don't work backstage. How do you know he has creative control? Oh, well, SummerSlam 2010, Wade Barrett, that whole thing. Yeah, listen, if there's one time we can blame John Cena, it's SummerSlam 2010 with the Nexus. That's one time John Cena admitted he was wrong and that he did the wrong thing that night. Other than that, aside from that, What else can you blame John Cena for? He doesn't run the WWE. Once again, it's called World Wrestling Entertainment, not John Cena Entertainment. Subscribe.